Hey guys, how's it going? Josh here with the character bio for Aquaman. So, this is uploading a day late, so I do apologize, and because it is a day late, it's on April Fool's Day. So I just want to make this really clear now, this is not an April Fool's Day prank, this is a, regular video, so to speak. So you guys voted, and obviously the voting polls on hybridnetworkyt.com, link will be in the comments and description, but you guys voted, and man, did you guys really want your Aquaman bio. People have been asking for it for a while, and I've been really hesitant because I realize one of two things. First thing is, if I screw it up, Armin will kill me. The second thing being, if I make it, people might be like, that's not Jason Momoa. So all in all, I've decided, you guys all voted for it, and we got a lot of votes. Most votes we've ever gotten on a voting poll was for Aquaman. So I just want to say, thank you guys for voting. That really means a lot. Yeah, let's get right into the origin. So first and foremost, Arthur Curry is his real name, and he was born to the Atlantean female, Atlanta, and the human male, Tom Curry. Now, Tom Curry, had a lighthouse in New England, and that's pretty much where Arthur was raised for the most part. Now, I know in the pre-New 52, his Atlantean name was Orin. They don't have that in the New 52. If you couldn't tell by the title, this is only New 52. So I'm sorry for all the pre-New 52 fans, such as, well, there wasn't that many. And I'm going to get to that a little bit, as we go down this bio. So his mother left him at a young age. Truthfully, it was literally right after she gave birth to him. Pretty much, it was one of those situations, I don't know how to put it in perspective. Think more so as, she basically did not have any time to stay as a parent. So she plopped him out, left him with his father, and then, bye-bye mommy. So that's pretty much how it went. Kind of messed up, but that's what happened. But yeah, he was raised by his father, and Arthur, like I said, he knew very little of his mother, really only being told at his father's deathbed that she's Atlantean, go to Atlantis. So after Black Manta actually kills Tom, that's when it all kind of goes down. And it's really weird because Arthur accidentally kills Black Manta's father. Accidentally is the key word here. So Black Manta, he kind of wants revenge, even though the killing of Black Manta's father on accident happened after Arthur's father was killed on purpose by Black Manta. So this is just, as you can tell, it already has all the works of a Game of Thrones episode. So let's move on. After swimming in the Atlantic Ocean for a few hours, Arthur saves a boat from a storm. Now, this boat is not just any other boat, this is called a plot convenience boat. Because, obviously, the people on the boat, after Arthur shares his story with them, they say, oh, we know someone that claims to be from Atlantis, and it turns out this person lives in Norway. So they go all the way to Norway, and in Norway there's a man named Vulko. Now, Vulko, turns out, says he was the advisor to the Atlantean throne. He advised Arthur's mother, Arthur's, grandfather, the whole 9 yards, basically, of royalty for the past, I'd say, up to around 100 years. So Vulko, he's very wise. And if you've read any of the New 52 any of the New 52 Aquaman comics, you'll know that Arthur goes to Vulko a lot for, information, for advice on many things. Up until Throne of Atlantis. Throne of Atlantis, it kind of gets shaky, but, eventually it kind of goes back to the status quo after that in that regard. So, like I said, there's this man named Vulko, and Vulko's actually the guy that tells Arthur that he's royalty. As you can see in the panel, he kind of indicates it by saying the Queen's son is alive. So, from Vulko, Arthur learns what really happened to his mother, that she was forced back to Atlantis due to the fact that she was next in line, technically, and then she was forcibly married. Now, through this marriage, she had a second son named Orm, who's Arthur's half-sibling, if you know anything about, basically having kids. But anyways, Vulko believes Orm killed Atlanta for power, because I guess Atlanta wanted to go back to the surface world, which obviously Orm's usually portrayed as a kind of purist. So this, obviously did not fly with Orm by any means. So Orm kind of has power now at this point in Atlantis, and Vulko takes Arthur, as he's technically the rightful heir, back to Atlantis to be the king. Now, on the panel, they mentioned the dead king, the creator, the first king of Atlantis, whatever have you, before it sank. I just want to correct this. So, at the time of, when this book was published, the main thought was that Arthur and the Atlantean royalty, that they were descendant of Atlan, who was the first king. That is incorrect. Actually, Arthur and his bloodline descends from Orin, who was the brother of Atlan, who overthrew Atlan to take over as king of Atlantis. And that's a whole complicated thing. Maybe I'll make a video about the history of Atlantis in DC New 52, but I just thought I'd point that out, that that little information is incorrect. So after arriving at Atlantis, Arthur became king, as obviously he was the first born technically, thus it was his responsibility as of tradition. But during his time as ruler, nothing bad. He met and fell in love with Mira, who's from the Atlantean city / tribe / kingdom of Zabil, which in the pre-New 52 was like an otherworld dimension. So they totally did a 180 with this one here, which thank God for just for continuity's sake. But anyways, after a while, Arthur desired to live on land again, and he and Mira went to Boston. That was kind of their main place. They kind of protected Boston for quite a bit, and leadership of Atlantis was passed on to Orm. However, if you read Throne of Atlantis, you know that obviously Aquaman / Arthur takes control of Atlantis again, because obviously Orm is the antagonist of that. He launches a massive assault on surface world, yada yada. So even though I don't mention it in here by word, I just thought I should make a point to say, before Armin comes back and kills me, that Arthur is the king of Atlantis yet again. He also helped found the Justice League, and also he has his own kind of side team called the Others, which is more covert, than the Justice League. A lot more covert, I should say. So let's get on to not Arthur. I almost said Arthur Man. What type of hero would Arthur Man be? Be like the TV show. But no, let's get on to Aquaman's abilities. So his abilities are superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, reflexes, swimming, limited telepathy, expert strategist, expert combatant, and leadership. So let's get on the strength. So strength is a pretty cool one. It's pretty self-explanatory. A lot of people don't know that Aquaman's actually extraordinarily strong. In the New 52 alone, he's done things like carry massive ships, throw massive ships, and he does all of that without too much strain. He can easily take down Superman if he wanted to, especially in water. But the reason why commonly it's portrayed Superman stronger, it's not because he's brutally stronger, it's just because Superman's powers overall have a lot more offensive capabilities than Aquaman's. Superhuman speed, a lot of times people are like, why would Aquaman be fast and have superhuman speed besides swimming at super fast speeds? And the reason is actually really logical. It's because his body, being Atlantean, technically half Atlantean, but just being Atlantean in general, his body is made for deep water environments, which means his body is made to move quite well under tremendous amounts of pressure. It's been said you can be at the bottom of the ocean and move just like a regular human does in air, which is just a testimony to his speed. That goes into his reflexes also. But the main thing I'm trying to get at here is that on the surface level, he's far faster than us. Not like Flash level fast, but he's still very, very fast. He probably should be the third fastest Justice League member after Flash and after Wonder Woman, just due to the nature of how his speed works. So then we also get into durability. As you can see in the picture, he can take bullets, even though a bullet may just kind of cut him a little bit, but it's not. As you can see, it seems more of an annoyance to him than anything else. Think if someone was kind of just like poking you constantly. It's not really hurting you, so to speak, even though it might draw blood. It's more so just annoying, and it barely pierces the skin. And then we get to swimming. Swimming is probably one that a lot of people make fun of him for, besides telepathy, mostly just because swimming. But like I said before, that's because the way his body works, it's made to get around underwater. How do we get around underwater? Swimming. There you go. Limited telepathy is pretty much marine biology. He can talk to, as it's been commonly said, talk to fish, even though he, in the comic, came out and said, I don't talk to fish. It's more of like order fish, communicate fish, heavily suggest to fish, and other aquatic life, certain things. He's also an expert strategist and combatant. A lot of that is due to his training. He trained with the, obviously, Atlantean military as their king. He, just like any other military or any other government, you kind of have to have some sort of training and strategy. And usually, certain areas you have training in combat if you're the leader of that nation. It's not as common now as it used to be, but Atlantis kind of follows a lot of the older kind of way of leadership. And by that I mean the leader actually is leading the charge in battle, not, you know, just sitting behind an office, you know, spinning around in a chair playing Risk. And then last but not least, leadership. This is actually really funny because in Justice League, him and Batman go at it all the time, especially in Throne of Atlantis, on how the Justice League should do things and how they should, you know, kind of lead the team. So this is actually really funny. But, you know, leadership, obviously as the King of Atlantis, he has a great hand in leadership. And it's been said, obviously, as royalty in the first in line, is kind of more natural to him than anyone else. So that's really it for Aquaman. I hope you guys enjoyed the bio. This one's a little bit longer. I kind of talked a little bit more than I usually do. So if you guys like that, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know also. And for everyone wondering about, you know, Jason Momoa's portrayal of Aquaman and the whole blonde hair fiasco, I've heard some people talk about it. Technically, in the tradition, you know, in the tradition of Aquaman, the blonde hair symbolized royalty. So technically, Jason Momoa should have some blonde hair to, you know, recognize that, because it's not one of those cases where it's just, oh, you know, white face, blonde hair. It's actually, that symbolizes something that distinguishes the royal family from most Atlanteans. So without further ado, that's it, and I hope to see you guys later. Oh hey, I hope you guys enjoyed what you just saw. I don't know what exactly you just saw, but I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you really did like it, go check out our other stuff. You know, we have social media, Facebook, Twitter. The link should be somewhere here. Also, we have other channels too. We have our movie, video game channel. We have our music channel. Obviously, our comic book channel too, because we know we do all that entertainment awesomeness. We also have a website. Go to our website, hybridnetworkyt.com. And check out our other videos. That's all I really have to say. It's Josh, and, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, what you watched.